Good morning, everyone. How are you doing today? Just wanted to do our daily financial news. This is, of course, September 16th, Wednesday, September 16th. All the days are blending together right now. But again, this is your daily financial news. Do me a favor. If this is your first time viewing, welcome. If you like what we have here, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up and help the channel grow by subscribing to the channel. We just exceeded 9,500 subscribers, and I want to thank each and every one of you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. On to the daily financial news. A lot of stuff to talk about today. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We have first, just going down the list again. Lots of notes from this morning. I'll just go top to bottom. First article I read was about Yelp. Looks like Yelp has just put out data for August that showed 60% of the business that were closed are permanent now. That number is 97,966. That is actually up 23% since mid-July. So call it a 6-week period. We saw an increase in 23%. Obviously slanted towards restaurants, beauty as they call it. Think hair salons and that kind of stuff. Restaurants, and now gyms are going permanent closure as well. Kind of the talk track that I've had with many of our experts of the week is especially Greg Dickerson on Mondays. We have more pain to get through. A lot of that pain will be in the small and medium business. A lot of those will be permanent closures, probably bankruptcies, thus leaving a lot of space and a lot of needs that could be met next year, right? April, May, June, when we finally get through this and the entrepreneurial spirit kind of re-engages and we take another run at this thing. This it kind of feels bad when you're in the last part of all the pain. It just feels like it builds on itself. It's kind of somewhat similar to kind of 2009 and 10 in the real estate market. Everybody knew where it was going, right? It was bad and getting worse, but you got to get through it to get done, to get out. Like 2010, I've said many times, it was a great time to buy right at the bottom, be aggressive. I see the same thing with entrepreneurs next year. I hope I'm right. As Greg and I talked this week, this Monday, if you haven't listened to it, check it out. I was hopeful it'd be 2021. Greg was more like, might be 2022. Let's hope I'm right. We need some good news, in my opinion. Next up, Snowflake IPO is supposed to price today. It is hot and getting hotter. It's going to likely come out triple digits. They're now talking about a price target of 120 opening trade. I just saw that they're going to spend $1.2 billion on AWS in 5 years. Wow. And also, I just checked, AWS or Amazon has a competitor of Snowflake called, what is it called? Redshift. Interesting. So yeah, it's going to be a good day if you are a Snowflake employee. If you've been there, you got your stock, RSUs, whatever you call it. There's going to be a party at the Snowflake headquarters. They are going to pop some champagne, no doubt. Just so Andreessen Horowitz or Mark Andreessen years ago said software is eating the world. Well, software is having a great IPO year. 2020 already 7.8 billion. The previous record was 5 billion raised, and we still have big IPOs coming like Palantir and the like. So software is sort of like housing, right? Software is the sun is shining on the back of software today, and Snowflake will be today's example. Again, Chamath is somebody I'm starting to follow. He obviously had that SPAC we talked about yesterday's daily financial news, where he was buying Open Door for like 4 billion or 4.6 billion, and we kind of talked about that. If not, check it out. But he actually had some pretty interesting comments about stimulus, which I agree with 100%. And that is any new stimulus, any new debt we take on at the federal level has to go to Americans, individuals, families. Stop propping up zombie companies. taking companies that are already debt burdened and giving them more debt is not the right answer. That is foolish, wasteful, and not the best use of precious capital. Just not a good idea. Something I saw just showing that this is a worldwide phenomenon. German yields just went negative, greater negative, more negative, down to negative 0.5%, so 0.5% negative. Wow. Germany was, was the country, right? The engine of the EU. It's something to appreciate, right? That they are having to go that low, right? And there's always a question: does the U.S. ever go negative? I don't know. I doubt it. I'm not even sure how that would look. But we're going to stay low for a while, and to that end, we have the Fed announcement today. The Fed is basically, in my opinion, if anything is earth-shattering, I will do an afternoon session on it. But again, the Fed's going to be, rates are going to be low for a long time. We are going to stay engaged in the commercial bond market. And the real question for me, are they going to take the opportunity to point at Congress and basically say, in a very kind and gentle way, do your bleep job? I think there's a general belief by the Fed and Treasury that they've done all they can, but Congress has let us down. I've said it a dozen times on these daily financial news that we built a bridge halfway. Congress has failed. Congress went on recess, for heaven's sake, and didn't do their job. That's still mind-boggling to me. We're going to see if Congress builds that second bridge. There is some positive momentum now around this kind of new group doing this. I think it's a $1.5 trillion, billion, trillion. I don't know. It's a big ass number. Kind of stimulus, must be billion. So we'll see what happens. Something has to get done. Just going to include checks to people. Going to include more unemployment. It's just, we got to get it to the end of the year, where I think the entrepreneur capitalism kind of kicks in. But Congress has let us down before, and at this point, we shouldn't be surprised if they let us down again. FedEx, I talked about FedEx having some monster numbers. I think it was Sunday when I was doing my look ahead. Again, had a blowout number. They've really had a great kind of 100-day run, kind of set up perfectly. People are shopping at home and getting deliveries. Kind of a perfect storm. Right, made $2.18. We'll see if that continues next year. I just wonder. I wonder if we change, I don't know, call it April, May next year. And this is all about the consumer, right? That's what I follow on this channel, is the consumer, because they're my competitor. And I'm just wondering, when do we have enough of shopping at home? It's going to happen. It'll happen in waves because people have different risk tolerances. But damn, when are you going to stop scrolling on your phone to buy this or that? It's going to happen, and that will impact FedEx. Next up, Southwest. For what it's worth, I think it's the best run airline out there. A couple of things. Man, they're lowering their daily cash burn. It's now 17 million from 20 million. Can you imagine walking into work or walking into your house or whatever it is and burning $17 million a day? Just light it on fire. You're losing money. You don't fly, right? I mean, it's just, it's crazy. But again, I think they're the best run airline. I think we need to let an airline go out. Bankruptcy is not the end all be all. A couple of them have already gone bankruptcy, I think a couple of times. So again, bankruptcy is not the worst. We're not talking total liquidation. Yeah. So they're going to also keep the middle seat open through the end of November. This is, of course, Southwest. I think it's the right thing to do. Just they don't have the capacity anyway. I mean, there's not enough people flying, so let's at least make it a marketing campaign and make people feel safer. KB Homes got an upgrade, which is interesting. What was really interesting about the article is the analyst is calling this the golden age of housing. You can go back and watch videos on this channel probably 90 days ago where I was saying the same thing. It's kind of teeing up where we are going to have a Transition from urban renters to suburban owners, kind of the reverse of the Great Depression, where everybody went from the farms to the cities. Now it's the other way, and the other way in a big way. I believe I even used that term, golden age of housing. I just think it's an investable trend, something to watch. Home builder sentiment came out right before I started this, a record number, a record for 35-year history. So it wasn't even this high in 2005 and 6. Came out at 83. It's on a scale of 1 to 100, with 50 being growth. So 83 is a record. One thing they are dealing with is lumber prices. I finally got some numbers on this. So lumber's up 170%, right? The fires in California, the supply chain being disrupted fires in Oregon, some in California, but really warehousers in Oregon is causing some problems. 170%. What does that mean? Well, for the average home, it means an increase in cost of $16,000. Actually, more than I expected. That's beefy. So again, as I've said many times, what happens today? Well, with a builder settlement of 83, they just pass on that charge to the new buyer. So congratulations, you absorb 170% insight into lumber. Which, oh, by the way, if you own existing homes, you don't pay for lumber twice. It's already there. So that's just going to help raise or pull existing homes higher. Because again, you just take an average home and you got to whack on $16,000. Again, that's the average home. If it's smaller, obviously it's less, but that was the number I got. And then finally, we've talked about Nikola a couple of times this week. First, the SEC got involved, and now justice is involved. Justice is involved. Wow. That's not good. And again, I've shared many times in my experience that I was burned by one of these hot companies before. Enron and WorldCom both got me back in the day. I don't know. Where there's smoke, there's fire. It'll be interesting. For me, it'll be interesting to watch what GM says. General Motors, I think it was Monday. Might have been Friday. Came out and said, we're going to buy an 11% stake in Nikola. Stock takes off. We all think it's golden, right? GM's going to do their due diligence. If GM ever comes out and says, we were suckered, we were pulling, we were extracting ourselves, we are repricing, anything like that, ooh, watch out below. Not good, not good. So at the end of the day, that's what I got for you. Just so you know what else, I'll be doing a couple more live streams this morning. And then I have two new guests that I'm going to be interviewing, one at 9 Pacific and one at 10. Those should be interesting conversations. Both those interviews will be out this afternoon. And again, I got lot of topics to kind of rattling around my head, which I will do live streams probably between now and 9 a.m. just to get them out there. I like to do that in the morning. So, of course, have a wonderful day. If you're still watching, hit the thumbs up. And, of course, if you're a new watcher and you like what we do these daily shows every day, right around 7:30 a.m. Pacific. Hit subscribe, hit that notification button so you know when we go live, and we'll talk to you then. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye-bye.